do it again. Watch me win.
Dun 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 dun.
Lego. Hey, tada! We are back like Musana.
Umsana.
Same thing. So
No,
what?
it's not the
Wait.
same thing.
So what language is that?
I'm using Bemba.
Yeah, but is that across all the Zambian languages?
Gob, how do you say waist in Nyanja?
I'm not.
Umusana.
But I'm not talking about waist though.
What are you talking about?
The back.
Inuma. The back is Inuma.
Well,
How do you say back in Nyanja? The back. Mbuyo. Yeah, kumbuyo. Yo. No, it's okay. Come through. We've started. You find us. All right, cool. Yo, dude. Let's get business out of the way first.
I'm loving these nuts though.
These nuts.
Have you played around with your new phone, the Camon 40?
What feature have you found now?
Have you played around with it?
No, not that much.
Did you give it away?
Sort of.
A couple of things. Gob says, where's his? Please answer him.
I think we need to talk to Chichi about that. Chichi at Tecno. Yeah.
Do you want to pick up his? He was given all kinds of gadgets too. You know who he forgot? You.
I wasn't told anything about Gob's phone.
You were there.
You're the contact for Tecno.
You called her. She said, come and pick it up.
Well, she said,
Why didn't you ask her?
actually what happened was when you told me to go pick up the phone from her, she says, I'm not in the office, I'm out of town. I'll send it on Monday or Tuesday. Then she sent the phone and I said, what did I say?
This nigga
You
is
promised
full
me-
of excuses.
No.
With a straight
listen,
face too.
Listen, I said, you promised me gadgets. Because when I met her at East Park a week ago, she said, I'm going
She
to
had a
put
power
in...
bank.
Yeah. So she put in a power bank and a watch.
Oh, I got a watch too.
Yeah.
Gob.
Sorry, the wife is calling. Babe, we're recording a podcast
Now you know
episode.
who has no love for you. Because when it was time to
We're
receive
recording a
gadgets,
podcast
nigga
episode.
thought of himself.
Clearly, yeah, clearly.
Is your mic plugged in?
The what?
Okay.
Yeah, clearly. Also, that
Yo.
bottle.
Island. It's in a black
Huh?
envelope.
That bottle.
Brown envelope, sorry.
The bottle? Mm-hmm. What about it?
Do we need it there?
Yeah, this is fit.
Oh, okay.
Are
Beverages.
we actually recording this episode like we've started, yeah?
Yeah, we have.
Okay, cool. Just confirming.
Talking to your wife, talking to Chi.
Yeah. But dude, listen. So Cameron, go.
Anyway, whatever.
I am
Let me
not
tell you- let me-
responsible in any way.
let me tell
He's
you-
a contact.
Let-
You brought Tecno to this
nigga,
podcast.
shut up.
If
Let
we're
me
talking
tell
brothers
you-
and mocktails and big tree beverages, I'm
me
responsible.
tell
If
you-
you don't receive any drinks, I'm responsible for that.
Let me. Where are the drinks?
But they go to Elson's house.
The drinks are at my house, so I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, let me tell
Listen,
you the
I
future.
talked to
Hey,
them.
nigga, can we talk about the
I talked to
phone?
them, but they end up at Elson's house. Anyway, the phones.
I picked up a couple of things with this phone. Number one, this is incredible. Hold on, let me actually go and let me show you. Wait, hold on. So, do you realize that you have got a real-time translator when you're on the phone?
Yeah, that's what the AI is there for. Remember, it's been on the box saying AI powered.
Yes.
Yeah, I saw that. I
So
figured
you
that out.
can choose if it's male or female that you hear, and you can choose the language. So it translates into English, and the person that is talking to you in a different language, and it translates in real time
Dude.
as you speak on the phone.
This phone, I know we've been saying this, and we don't want to talk about other phones with 3 cameras on them. But
This phone
this
is
is one of
incredible.
the most powerful, most like smartest phones on the market right now.
Let me tell you something else.
I was chatting with somebody in China. Remember the thing I do with Kingsland, right? You can actually, in real time, I'm typing in English, it's automatic, like it's translating into Mandarin in real time. You know what I mean? And the guy on the other end thinks maybe I speak his language, or I'm able to, understand what he's talking about. Like, it's actually being translated in real time. Really smart phone.
Let me tell you something else that I picked up. When you are not able to answer your phone, but you also don't want the person to leave a voicemail.
You don't want them to leave a voicemail.
No, yeah, you don't want them to leave a voicemail. AI will pick up the phone for you.
Do you like preset the message?
Yes, you type in a script.
And just read it to the person.
Yes. So you can say, "Hi, this is Kalinga's assistant."
He doesn't really want to talk to you right now.
Right. Can you call him at 6 p.m. or something like that?
Or never call back.
It's phenomenal. I know it's crazy that this is one of the most underrated phones that I've ever seen. The amount of features. So I was away. I had gone on vacation. So I decided to get a jet ski. So there are these Maasai guys that were like by the beach. So I leave all my gadgets with the guys. So I take my watch off. I take the phones out of my pocket and I leave them. They were like two guys. I get on my jet ski. I'm there for an hour. I come back. They hand me back my phone. So as I'm going through my phone, just checking for messages, it gives me an alert that someone was trying to unlock your phone. So then I tap on it. It takes a photo of the person.
No way.
I promise you.
I've not figured that one out yet.
I promise you. It was one of the Maasai guys. So if you get the passcode wrong twice, it will
takes
take
a
a photo of the person trying to enter
Like,
your
hombre,
phone.
check this out. We're exposing you today.
I bet you will see your wife's photos with the Duke and everything and a toothpick. Trying to figure this thing like, what's this nigga's password?
So anyway, that's the Tecno Camon 40. And
they're giving also, so if you buy this, you're getting data on MTN like 30 gig of data.
30 gig, yeah.
30 gig of data.
It's really amazing, man. This phone. And it's amazing how it's only a fraction of the price of like the most priced high-end phones in the market. This should actually be a very high-end phone on the market as well.
So the
considering what it
translation
does.
assist that you were talking about,
Yeah.
this one right there.
Okay, no, I'll play with all those things tonight.
Oh no, you should. Oh, you should. You just shouldn't play with yourself only. Play with all this.
All right, cool. And yes, I did get what you just said. I'm just choosing to ignore it.
What a week, man.
Anywho,
What a
this
week.
episode is proudly brought to you by Camon 40, of course, from Tecno.
From Tecno.
And also our friends
Brothers.
at Victory Beverages and the Brothers Mocktails, who we've had for the past exactly 1 year. I was looking at the photo we posted last year when we were announcing Brothers joining the podcast, and it's exactly a year from the time they came on the podcast. But of course, the contract was effective from 1st June.
We are 100% and forever indebted and grateful to you guys.
Yeah.
The bill that Gob sends us every single week, which we blue tick, he would own both our houses by now.
Actually,
if
he
we
would.
didn't have brothers. If we didn't have
that's
Victory.
so true. That is very true. The consistency from Brothers just
It's been incredible. So
Real love.
the team, too big to mention, from Big Tree.
Let me try. Brenda, Barbara, Sachin.
You know how to be bad with that?
You forget names.
You forget names, and
Okay,
those will be
I
the
was
ones.
about to mention everyone, but
and
I'll
those
end there.
will be the ones that are offended. So just leave it. Just say the team at Big Tree. Thank you very much, because it's the people in accounts who you don't know.
There's Helen.
No, stop, nigga, stop.
Yeah, because there's two Indian guys whose names I can't
Exactly.
remember in accounts.
They will put your PO right at the bottom. Like, you did not remember my name? Well, what's this?
Let me not remember your invoice.
Okay, now we shouldn't joke like this.
Dude, speaking of ignoring, hey, Casper Nyevere Sol Penduka.
You know, I just saw Soul trending. And I
Yeah.
couldn't figure out why he was trending. You know, this thing of talking greasy about a person on the podcast and then you meet them in real life. Did you see the clip?
I saw the clip and I saw Sol Penduka trying to hug Cusp on your vest, and I was like, my word, this is super embarrassing, to say the least. And
Keep that same
I think
energy.
any famous person, any person who's popular in any way, known by the public, you don't want to find yourself in a position where what's the word, Gob? What's the word? Where you meet somebody more famous and you're trying to identify with them, and it just minds you like
right.
cold shoulder,
Right.
You know what I mean?
I don't suffer from that when you say someone more famous than you, because I'm not famous. So
No.
I do not. I don't know what that feels like.
My point is, like in that case, Sol is a famous guy.
I know what you mean.
Known all over
I know what
Africa.
mean.
You know what I mean?
And you know what's crazy is Casper knows who he is.
Exactly. But Casper said, you guys always talking smack about me on your podcast. Maintain the same energy.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
Keep the same energy. There's people who I know if I see in the street today, I'm not gonna mess with them because of what I say about them now.
These people being what? Who?
Kandeke,
Yo Maps.
Yo Maps.
You know, that's the first thing I thought of when I saw the video. I was like, this is a meeting between Nelson and Yo Maps.
No, but I don't have a problem with Yo Maps.
But you always talk nonsense about Yo
I don't
Maps.
talk nonsense about them.
You don't?
I speak facts.
Harry Calabar episode?
I
What were the
speak
facts
facts.
here? What were the facts?
When? Nigga, trying to trap me here.
Dude,
Ca-
in the Harry
anyway,
Calabar episode, what did this guy say about Yo Maps?
I said Harry was lucky because he was in a coma for a while.
And he missed out.
That's what I said. Was Yo Maps even around then? When Harry had an accident?
He wasn't.
He wasn't around then.
No, he wasn't. Yeah, but he said he was lucky. You were lucky that you were in a coma and did not get to hear any Yo Maps music. How did you phrase it again?
I don't know what you're talking about. I do not know what you're talking about. But that must have been embarrassing. I always say keep the same energy. There's no way you're going to be one person. Kind of like Kalenga is that way. You're going to be one person now and a different person at a different time.
Like when?
Oh, you're 4, 5, 6 different people. When the mics are off, when it's just you and I in the car,
Hey, listen.
you're a different person.
Listen.
When the mics are on, you're a different person.
Listen.
When there's company, you're a different person.
Listen.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Gotta secure the bag, bro.
I hear you. I hear you.
You know, I never understood Trevor Noah, Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
We keep saying every time those guys got bigger, they were very careful and became very politically correct with the content that they put out.
Yeah. So is that what you're doing?
Yeah, sort of. And I'm not ashamed to say it. I gotta feed my kids, bro.
No, it's cool.
I gotta feed my kids.
No,
Secure the
listen,
bag.
listen.
Secure the bag.
I'm not mad at your hustle. Which is why. Because do you remember I always circle back to that sponsor, that one telecoms network that refused to work with us because I had a colorful mouth? You remember them?
Yeah,
You remember them, right?
yeah.
Whatever they would have paid is nothing in comparison to Brothers.
That's very true, actually. Yeah.
It pales in comparison to what Showmax did, pales in comparison to what Tecno is currently doing. So I always feel like the right partners will identify with you. That is number one. Number two is I always believe in building your own brand. You build your own brand, you promote that, because I spoke to some guys from MTN.
Okay.
And they're going to call you. They wanted somebody who has a following, but has not been a media prostitute, who every third, fourth ad from them is a different brand. And they gave me an example of someone who said, we can't work with this person because our brand will just be diluted. If you go through their timeline, they have got 50 different products. So
I know exactly what you're talking about.
you know who I'm talking
I
about,
know
right? So-
very big brand.
yes. So if our
Should be
product,
making a lot of money, but isn't.
you mentioned the gender, so you know who
I
I'm
said
talking about.
should be making a lot of money, but
Oh,
isn't.
right, yes.
But isn't.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if our brand is the 51st brand, it won't hit. So they then went with somebody who doesn't really have a lot of brands, but has got a following. So they went with Bamatero,
Right. Okay.
right? So,
My material hasn't really been all over the place, yeah.
no, he hasn't, right? So when I was speaking, I said, speak to this dude. So I say all this to say, yeah, the bag is good, but I look at like what Gareth did. I look at what MacG did, and how much money these guys are making from their punch. from the chiller's punch.
Yeah, just by going with your own brand. Yeah,
If a brand then decides tomorrow, we're not effing with you,
I've got my own brand.
he's got his own brand that is
Yeah.
built.
Yeah.
So if you create like the Kalenga
Brand.
MC,
Yeah.
marketing, voiceover, brand, bruh.
And if there's one thing, well, for those who don't know, I'm also working with Heineken closely now. If there's one thing I'm really appreciating about that relationship is how, like you're mentioning, how you don't want to be all over the place as a brand. Gosh, there's things in the material that they send you to read that you're like, my word. I wish I could share this with every person on social media right now, that we could all just start seeing social media like a serious place of business. You know what I mean? Because there's so much that we're careless and reckless with on social media that we need to be paying attention to. You know what I mean? How you post, the quality of what you post, not being all over the place with 50 brands. There's all these things that we really need to consider. And the time I went to, remember Gob when we were at Heineken House? That was like thousands of influencers, South African influencers, yeah.
Right.
And you sit down with one and you find this person doesn't quite have the big numbers that our social media influencers in Zambia have, but they're making way more money.
Right. Bingo.
You know what I mean? 3,000 followers.
Do you know?
3,000 followers and a person is making way more money than a person with 1 million followers.
Do you remember we had this conversation with, I think it was Jameson, when they were saying we're not looking at a person who has got 1 million followers.
Yes.
I think they call them micro influencers or something like that.
Look at Jameson brand ambassadors. We had, what's his name again?
Medad.
No, what's his name again? The former.
The girl, right?
No, before Sampa.
Yeah, but anyway.
Daniel Machia. Yeah,
Yeah.
Daniel Machia. Not too many numbers. The guy traveled the world with Heineken, right? Then they picked Sampa. Not too many numbers. You sit down with Sampa and you get to understand what big brands are actually looking for is, one, consistency in what you post. If you believe in one thing, keep going with that thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you mentioned, like for me, I'm sticking to my media thing, emceeing, whatever. Sampa as well, she's good at her cooking. She'll cook on a brazier and she's very good at how she spices up her food and she mixes with whatever liquor she's promoting that week, whatever variation of the major brand that she's promoting that week. And she's very good at that. And the videos, there's a certain level and a feel that she's very consistent with. And brands love that kind of thing. You know what I mean? So that really came up a lot in the SA visit. Now, when Gob and I went to South Africa, brands want a lot of consistency in quality. You maintain a certain quality and you post that, and not too much. They want quality over quantity, not 10 posts in a day and you do that every day and you're just posting nonsense. You could be a very big brand, 1 million followers, but they won't touch you.
You know, the problem that I have is I'm not able to pretend. Doesn't matter even if it's for money. Which is why I'm not able to resonate with what you're saying. Which is why I would rather build my own company and build my own brand. So if they come to me and they say, in order for you to become our brand ambassador, you should not do this, then I don't want to do it.
No. Which is why they will come to you when, like, I'll give an example of, okay, like Heineken, because I'm working with them and I know what they want, right? They're not coming to you to change what you do. They're coming to you because of what you already do, and they like the consistency in what you already do, so they'll jump onto that. You know what I mean? It's not changing anything about Elson. We like Elson the way you are and want to jump onto that.
Yeah, but again, if what they see, a lot of the time is perception is not reality. So what they think they know about this person might not be exactly
it could be virtual signaling the whole time.
Precisely. It could be virtual signaling. So now you have seen that, so I think they like me because of this facade that I have put up of being whatever. Do you get what I mean? And so now you have to
maintain that, even though it's not the real you.
Precisely.
Well, that happens a lot.
But I think the point here is that speaking. The point here is that for as long as you're on social media, you're a brand.
Yeah.
Whether you post, you don't post, you're a brand. So this company is what they look of. What Kalenga said was that what you're doing, but can you just divert your energy in this space as well? You get it? Like, for example, Kalenga drinks alcohol, but it's not a drunkard on social media. So even if it's a drunkard, he keeps that away from social media. For that reason, he doesn't post on social media.
Right.
If we work with you, don't bring it again. Just maintain that part. You get it? So that's what I see. Like, so the key point is that we are all brands. and you should keep that somebody's watching you.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
All right. All of this stemming from the fact that we're talking about Casper Nyvest and Soap and Duka. And then, is it on today's episode? I saw clips of this on TikTok where MacG is talking about, hey, Casper Nyvest can hang. We are now a bigger brand than he is. So whatever he says, we're still going to continue talking smack about him regardless.
Well, who said this?
MacG today.
Oh,
I was saying we're now a bigger brand. So
I saw that. Well, it was like Damon Dash knows who we are.
Damon Dash knows who we are. Soap and Nuka stands up and pours the gin in MacG's cup. I'm like, okay. These guys are really believing in their
Patty.
in their brand.
But
and
he
their
hasn't
hype.
released anything recently, has he? And it's coming to Zambia, right? Casper.
Oh, he is?
This current month, I think at the end of the month at the stadium.
What's happening there?
What's the Euro Stadium?
What's happening there?
He's performing there.
Oh, I saw that. Fill up the stadium with Indinema. Yeah, I saw that.
He's
That's true.
performing there.
But we'll just give them a plug.
Casper fill up the stadium with Ndinema.
Yeah, something like that.
Oh, I met Ndinema today at the mall. He didn't.
Is that something like that? By the way, guys,
Fill up.
talking about the South African thing, did you hear what they're talking about? They are going to like monetize the podcast in South Africa, and it's like huge.
They're gonna monetize what?
The podcast in South Africa.
Which podcast?
Like for you to have like every podcast, for you to do podcast in South Africa, you're supposed to have like a license, like a broadcasting license, because you're still reaching.
They'll not be able to do that.
In South Africa, though.
Yeah, no, they'll not be able to do that.
Yeah, but it's big. It's actually in Parliament.
Is it the same thing they were trying to do in Zambia as well with
They'll not be able to do that
license
because
for podcasts in this country?
Again, that's now trying to control the internet.
And their internet remains undefeated.
And so, no, they'll not be able. I don't see how they'll be able to control that.
Because, I mean, people can simply jump the border and post
Precisely.
from Zimbabwe,
Precisely.
post from Namibia, post from Botswana.
What stops them from doing that from a different country?
And that way you circumvent the law. Because they're saying if you post from South Africa, you have to pay. And if I
Right.
go post just across the border, I'm not within South Africa.
Not only that, my man.
And there's VPN.
Use a VPN.
Yeah.
And when they check, they'll see that this thing was done in Russia, for example.
Yep. 9,000 miles away.
I don't think they'll be able to do that. Hey, speaking of, do you guys know that there's a new journalism bill?
I was supposed to have that guy come through. What happened?
He didn't pick up. A journalism bill.
I remember we were talking about this when last night.
Yes. Wait, hold on. Let me see if I can bring that up.
Journalism bill.
Okay, I have it now. It's pretty oh, you heard about that, right? Okay, so they have got change in details, re-registration, practice certificate, code of conduct, offenses relating to registration, code of ethics. Man, this thing is big. You know what? I think we'll need a journalist to go through this. I'll share this with you. We'll need a journalist to go through this. But you'd think that such an important bill, there'd be at least a press conference.
Yeah, because
Or an announcement.
journalism,
Or maybe there was and I missed it. I don't know.
I think I missed that too if there was.
But I remember Dingindaba talking about how there wasn't really an announcement around this.
That's who you should call. That guy's always on top of things. He's got his finger on the
top of
pulse.
things?
Yeah. He's got a finger on the pulse.
Hey, speaking of, it was Vida's birthday.
Who?
Vida Cafe.
What's too maintaining that name for her? I remember when the first one opened up and we all thought, Vida's doing well. Eh?
Hey, who's we?
Huh?
Who's we?
I mean, many of us. I mean, I saw it on social media.
I've seen it in South Africa.
That's my
I've seen
point.
it in Mauritius.
That's my point.
So I did not think it was Vida's.
No, when we, for those of us who didn't know that it's in South Africa.
Who's we?
There's plenty of, it was on social media, people saying Vida doing the most or whatever. I saw
People actually thought Vida Cafe was... What's the
Owned
last
by
name?
Vida.
Ngale, what's Vida's last name? Vida from Diamond TV.
It's like an Eastern province name, yeah?
They thought it belonged to her.
Dude, I don't know how many times I've been to SA. Never saw Vida until I saw it. And then I went back. I'm like, oh yeah, crap. So it's from here. It's like Black, the club.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a franchise.
I didn't know.
La Capella.
I didn't know. Oh, Capello too.
Yes.
Oh wow. Okay. You know how you see things, but you don't really see things until you see things later on. Like I've actually seen this before somewhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're like in Santon, you see Black, but you don't really.
It doesn't register.
It doesn't register.
Yeah.
So when you see it in Zambia, like, wait a minute.
Speaking of places in South Africa, do you know that La Parada has opened up in Harare? You remember La Parada?
In
It's a South African-
Randburg.
There's plenty of
all
them.
over. Yeah.
The amount of money these guys have made in Harare.
Because there's dollars there, bruh. And Zimbos just love spending.
I took my dad there for dinner. It was just my dad and I.
Yeah.
I paid $380
That's like a 10,000 kwacha.
for dinner for myself and my dad only. $380. Shisha there was almost $45. I get shisha for 150 kwacha, and I'm complaining.
Wait, $45, that's like 1,000 kwacha, yeah?
Yeah, give or take.
Yeah, but then again, things in Zimbabwe just highly priced, bro.
Hey, bruh.
I think opening a business in Zimbabwe should be like every businessman's dream, because I remember the last time we ordered drinks, like a 6-pack of Heineken, which here you can get for argument's sake right now, 150, give or take. You're buying that in Zim, I think kwacha equivalent, close to, correct me if I'm wrong, but almost 1,000 kwacha. Almost 1,000 kwacha. No, like almost 500-600 kwacha, somewhere there.
I don't take alcohol, but yep.
I'm like, people are coming back with 6-packs. What the hell is going on here?
Zime for the fan of
And then
heart.
people look at me like, dude, you're from Zambia, right? Do not convert.
Because the higher time
Just
that
buy.
you get,
Just buy. Don't convert.
When I swipe in Zim, the notification I
Comes
get
in kwacha.
comes in kwacha. I'm like, I know what this costs in shop, right?
You know?
Ah, man.
And then also, but okay, you know what? Zim, and I think Livingston has sort of adopted Zim prices.
Who? Livingston.
Livingston, yeah.
Well, things in Livingston now expensive as well.
Or maybe it's just the hotel where I was. Or maybe I just ordered the wrong thing. I don't know. But I ate in shima and chicken and one vegetable. Gob, you know where you eat a meal, dude, it's like 2 lumps. No, I made a mistake. I've just remembered the mistake I made. So I get in shima, 2 lumps, 2 drumsticks, and vegetables, right? I enjoy myself, just eating alone by the table, finish eating, and I call the waitress to bring me the bill. She brings the bill, and it's 710 kwacha. I'm like, I can eat Mama Tebeto the whole week in Lusaka, bro. Madam, what's going on? And she says, am I paying for other people as well in this bill? Like, I was just on the table. She says, no, that's just your meal. I'm like, yeah, but it says 710 kwacha. This doesn't make sense. This is in shima and chicken and rape, vegetables. She says, yes, that's what you ate. And the bill is 710 kwacha. I said, how? Then she explained saying, sorry. I think it's like a Thursday night thing, buffet. So you pay the 710 kwacha again. It's all you can eat. Dude,
Sarova.
nobody told me this.
Sarova has the same thing too on Sundays.
Yeah, but tell a nigga when he's sitting down, you know
You
what I
pay
mean?
$900 for breakfast.
All you can
You
eat.
can go there, and they have this really.
Write it down on a big screen or a big board somewhere. Dude, that was so short.
Sarova has got this extremely impressive robot that brings you food.
No way.
I
Same
promise
one
you.
here.
The same one here.
Ooh, look at that.
I went, I chilled, I ordered an orange juice, and a robot brought me my juice.
We didn't know if Sash.
You say what?
We didn't know if Sash.
Bruh, I almost when I was like, this is a Togolosh. What is this? What's happening now?
Too black for this.
This is a Togolosh. Wait, hold on. There's something that I want to read from my phone just now. But I want to take your thought on this.
Take it.
So I go on vacation, right? I'm in Zanzibar.
We got you the first time you went on a vacation, yeah?
I'm supposed to spend 2 days in Nairobi and then proceed to Johannesburg. I want you to listen to this very carefully.
I shall say this only once.
I get to the airport and the lady says, "What's your final destination?" So this is exactly how I said it. I said, eventually, It'll be Johannesburg in 2 days, but I'm going to go to Nairobi and then Johannesburg. I get to the airport in Nairobi. I'm at the carousel. I cannot find my bag. I wait there for 40 minutes. Then I decide to check my ticket, the baggage ticket. Guess where they check my bag to? Johannesburg. I go to the desk and I say, MFers, where's my bag? They say, can we check your ticket? I gave them, they said, your bag is going to Johannesburg. I said, where's my bag going to Johannesburg? they said, but that's what you said your final destination is. I said, yes, but I told them that I'm here for 2 days.
Wow.
So they say it is my responsibility to tell them that I need my bag in Nairobi.
It's like a good 4,000 or 5,000 kilometers apart, you and your bag.
That is Kenya Airways.
Yeah, just call them out now.
Yeah, I am going to call them out.
Yeah. So you were bagless and...
They pulled my bag out before the plane went to Johannesburg.
Oh, wow, lucky you.
Bro,
Wow.
I caused a scene at the airport. I said, there's medication in that bag.
I'm about to have a heart attack.
So that really pissed me off. Whose responsibility is it? Is it the customer to tell them, or is it them, the airline, to ask and make sure? If you are stopping by somewhere for an extended period, whose responsibility is it to make sure that you get your bag at this layover? Because imagine if it's someone's first time flying.
Oh, the confusion. Because first of all, you didn't know what to ask for.
No.
Yeah.
Bruh, I caused a scene at that airport. Part of me actually thought they were going to deny my visa. They're like, okay, you know what? On second thoughts, give us back the visa. You think you're Billy Badass?
No, but it's just, there's just something about the airport that makes you nervous when such things happen, eh?
Not me.
I'm just saying, like, I'm sure the first thought you had before the bag came out, are they searching the bag? Did they find something in the bag?
And I was the only one left at the carousel, bro.
That's my point. Remember I told you the story in Australia as well when my bag didn't come out.
What happened?
I didn't tell you the story.
Oh, you have 1,000 times.
I told you the story when the bag didn't come out.
Goes, yep.
No, it's only happened to me once. I'm going to share that story. But I've told you the story, right?
For the sake of the people who haven't heard it.
Okay, let's leave it.
You can say it again.
No, but I told you the story of when my bag got missing, right?
Yes, you have.
Okay, cool. Then we can move on.
No, but you can say it again.
Cheese, yeah.
But you can say it again.
No, it's all good. Just similar experience to yours.
Okay.
No, I just thought, am I being searched or what? Like, what's really going on?
So what was going on?
He's here, right?
So what was going on? So I just want to send money to somebody. So what was going on?
No, like you, everybody from the flight. You remember the A380, really big plane, 500 people on board.
When did you go to Australia? And you remember the plane that took him there.
Oh, wow. Anyway, moving on.
Kalenga, my brother, I wish you all the success in life. I really hope you make so many of these trips.
I'm making trips to other places,
This thing
bro.
has made a trip to Australia one time, and we have never heard the end of it.
But dude, we're sharing experiences here. I can't share my own experience when I lost my bag.
No,
Every time I travel, I don't lose my bag. One time I lost my bag.
every time you travel.
How many times have you lost your bag?
Never.
Okay, so now it happened.
I didn't lose my bag though.
It didn't show up on the carousel.
Yeah, but I didn't lose it. I knew exactly what the hell it was.
Listen, I didn't lose it as well. My point is, it didn't show up on the carousel.
Okay.
So anytime anybody's going to bring up an issue, when they lost a bag or the bag didn't show up on the carousel, you're going to bring that up. Won't you?
Okay. No, but with him it's
What?
crazy.
No,
Hold
listen.
on.
No, go. How many times do you lose bags on a flight?
Kalenga. You know why I say with him it's crazy is Australia will always be brought in regardless of what we're speaking about.
No, dude. I haven't been about Australia in a year.
On this one, I'll be on Kalenga's side. It's not easy to get to Australia. Like, you won't just wake up and say, I'm going to Australia.
I've been to Australia.
Maybe it was a work trip or something. Like,
For who?
No, you also went for a chill.
I went for a vacation.
No, guys, listen. I've not spoken about that in a long time.
memory refreshment.
Gee.
Oh,
Nyota.
man.
Okay.
Nah, bless you, brother.
Dude,
Yes, sir.
Funny. Gob, if you can just zoom in on these things. It's in 4K, so I'm sure you can zoom in later on.
Yes, I'll zoom in. Don't worry.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
So, just found out that is how they do groundnuts in Zim. You peel them and then you boil them. Here, I don't peel them, just boil them and then peel them as you eat them. Is it like a Zim thing or is it just a you thing?
No, it's a me thing.
Oh, it's not a Zim thing?
No.
Oh, okay.
Even when I get prawns, I ask them to deshell the prawns.
Before they come on your plate.
Bruh, I'm not gonna have the labor of having to deshell them.
Those things are half shelled before they get to your plate.
I do not care. I don't need that delay in gratification, sir.
Dude, they're half shelled. All you just need to do is put them in your mouth and plop.
And
Suck out the flesh.
that's what I don't want. I just want to chuck it in my mouth and chew it. So nuts included.
And I had some nice queen prawns at Mozambique last week.
Yeah.
With Joy Makando. Oh, really good stuff.
Hey, speaking of, another thing that I've also realized, do you guys put peanut butter in your rice?
Yeah, I do that.
Gob says no. Gob, pick
do
up the
that.
microphone. You don't?
I've never done that.
My mom, every Sunday,
Peanut
Like a
butter.
tradition.
peanut butter in rice, yes.
I enjoy that a whole lot.
Me too.
I enjoy
In
it.
fact, I actually eat it with my hands because now it's
Serious?
because now it's lumpy. It's like Nishima.
Well, now that's a you thing.
Aren't you guys not
No,
just
but then
trying
again,
to,
it's not grainy anymore because
It's like a little lump.
yes, like a little lump.
aren't you guys just trying to simplify sample ya kusashira?
What's
Yeah. But it's like putting peanuts in your porridge, in your samp.
I'll try that.
Yeah, in rice. Brilliant stuff.
No,
a
you
bit of
should.
sugar.
No, it's incredible.
Really good
It's
stuff.
incredible.
And really healthy stuff as well. Oh, not the rice part, but the peanuts in the rice makes it really healthy.
You'll thank us for this.
Yeah,
I,
you will,
I
actually.
need Chi to come. So I've got a family WhatsApp group, and my uncle sent some rules of what you should or shouldn't
Rules
do.
of engagement in a WhatsApp group?
No. Of what you should or shouldn't do if you enter someone's car or if someone gives you a ride.
Where did I
I
see that?
agree with 95% of these things. Hold on. As he settles in, let me just go to the talking points. I bring up at least one talking point. The new Pope! The
new Pope! Yes.
His name, though, is Robert. Bob. is his
Isn't he
name.
going with Leo 16th?
He
Leo,
chose
is
that
it
name.
14th? 14th, sorry.
He
14th.
chose that name.
Yeah, but you have to do that when you
so
become...
there were 13 other Leos before him.
I mean,
that were
this
popes?
has been going on for what, thousands of years. So,
So there were 13 other Leos before him that were popes.
like Benedict 16.
Wait, but why did they change the name?
I think you have to have like a name from either one of the saints or people from the Bible, like John Paul.
And he's American.
The first time American.
First ever American Pope. From Chicago.
What are your thoughts, you guys, on Africa being hopeful of having a pope?
Mike 1, 2. That was never going to happen.
I said the same.
That wasn't going to happen because, number one, you get a black pope, all that thing of playing with little boys' booty holes would have stopped. Can you imagine what happens to all the lube they've bought? Goes to waste.
I'm not laughing at that joke.
You should not, because it's not.
I'm trying to secure my walk through the pearly gates. I am not laughing at that joke.
Yeah, well, it's not. But we can keep going as you do that, can't you?
Just make sure tell people that the camera will be shaky.
Cameras will be moving around a little bit just now as Gob resets
Because
it.
God will be
Because
redoing
cheese.
his thing in the atom.
Because cheese, yeah.
So,
She
and
nailed it.
another thing that I've got a problem with.
Dude.
Why is it that before they make a decision, the smoke is,
Black.
when they make a decision, the smoke is
Yeah, it turns to white.
racist. Racism.
Chi, your thoughts on
Why
this?
can't it be the other way around?
When there's indecision,
It should be white.
when there's indecision, and then
It should
when,
be white.
and then when there's order, it's white.
When there's order, it should be black.
I never thought of that. I never thought of that. Though.
Why is black always associated?
No,
it's called blackmail.
But in all fairness,
It's called blackmail. You
but
say
in
what?
all fairness, when you're braaiing, when you're starting a braai, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you put all sorts of things to start the fire, right? So you're gonna add all sorts of things, and then the smoke does not come out as white as when you put like the meat on when you're actually braaiing the meat. So I'm not saying much, but think about it. You have over 130 males only. Okay.
So you think they're in there, Brian?
In a secretive place.
You think they're in there, Brian?
Hold on. 129 of your closest colleagues and homies. You have the same mindset because you've dedicated your whole life to the cause. And then suddenly, no one's allowed to see what you're doing, okay? When you're with 129 of your closest mates.
Actually, I don't know if you heard this. Apparently, the reason why it only took 3 days is they say the food was horrible. So they say the food. No, for real. Google this. They say the food was. Wait, I'll show you. They say the food was garbage.
They said the food was horrible.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's why they needed to leave as quickly as possible.
Okay. While you're checking that out, okay. Jokes aside, with regards to the whole naming process, right? I know you were asking about his name and how they come up with the names. Yeah. So you actually choose of your own accord. So you're supposed to.
What I said,
yeah, you're supposed to choose a name that resonates to you, absolutely from the Bible. It can be a mixture. It can be a former pope, or it can be directly from the Bible. So he chose Leo because Leo the 13th. So if you go and see Leo the 13th, he was also a very interesting pope. This was the first pope to actually be captured on camera, which is very interesting. If you look at the technological conversation that's going on around, you know, we're trying to draw all sorts of parallels, but only he will know why he chose that name, you know, regular name Robert or Bob, as they refer to him in Chicago. Also, another interesting thing, yes, he is from Chicago, but
Chicago.
and it's so funny when you see a lot of the introduction videos where they're playing the old Chicago Bulls theme song and announcing him like with one of the NBA players. They're like, and at number 13,
announcing who?
Pope Leo from Chicago.
Hey,
you know?
listen,
So
speaking of,
it's really
have you
interesting.
watched The Pope's Exorcist?
The Pope's Exorcist?
Yeah, I saw that.
That's a series.
No, that's a movie on Netflix.
Wow,
You should check it out with what's the guy's
The
name?
one, is it the priest who ends up getting possessed by demons?
Yeah. What's his name?
Sir Anthony Hopkins.
No.
He stars in that.
No, not him.
But
It makes reference to the Pope.
No, man. I'll tell you now.
You're still trying to Google the menu.
Oh, by the way, you know you can actually even pick female names, right?
Oh, yeah. So back
You
to
know you can
movies.
actually be Pope Maria.
Really?
If you want.
Yeah. Once again, who you resonate with from the Bible.
I actually know a priest
So, yeah.
by the name of Father Maria.
Okay.
Father Maria.
Father Maria.
Okay. And our chances to have an African pope were not that
Russell
far
Crowe.
off.
That's
That's
Russell
the
Crowe, not Anthony Hopkins.
No, it was Russell
Oh,
Crowe.
that's the
Yeah.
series. What happened to the menu? I thought you were Googling the menu.
No. I got it. I got carried away.
But I probably heard that story because I heard they had the worst meal known to man.
Yeah.
Which is rice and peanut butter.
But why?
What? I wasn't here earlier. What I say?
But why is it so
That's
bad?
why they left after me. I heard rice and peanut butter.
You lie.
Have I missed something? Is there a joke I did?
We're
Yo.
talking about rice and peanut butter a minute ago, bro.
Oh, you'll roll with that?
Yes.
Wow. Sign of the
No, dude.
sign of the cross. guys.
You were listening to our conversation.
No, it's
No, of
just
course he was.
literally-
He was in the toilet.
No, it's just the reason that they left early. I'll play with you. No, but actually voting takes as long as it has to until they get a 2/3 majority. So this can go on for even a year because they are only allowed to vote 4 times a day while in conclave. So you have to actually get a 2/3 majority. And what was interesting, the composition of this one, the last pope had actually hired about 80% of the cardinals that were present. So one would have assumed that they're going to get somebody who was going to continue with that pope's ways, which were not too similar, or rather too different from Pope Benedict. So Pope Francis and Pope Benedict were known as a bit more liberal. Right?
Right.
Yeah, a bit more liberal, a bit more controversial. Then you had the Ghanaian cardinal, who was also standing a good chance because they thought that the Catholic Church might want to reset back to more conservative. By the way, you must watch this guy's speech on YouTube.
Pope Leo.
No, the black cardinal, the one from Ghana.
Oh, okay. Don't know who's tipped to be the next
The
pope.
one, yes, but they say if you walk in there expecting to be the next pope, you never become the next pope. But he was one of the sort of the favorites. If you're going to hedge your bets,
Yeah, I remember that much. Yeah.
on Pope Aviator, whatever it's called, in the betting
Ain't
world.
no way they're gonna elect a black pope.
Well, I'll tell you what. It always depends on the tides of what's going on globally. Because once again, you did see a shift to a lot of liberal thinking of the Catholic Church. And the Pope, the black Pope, that was seemingly one of the I say seemingly one of the favorites because we are all lay people. What goes on in there?
We have no idea.
We have no idea. Absolutely, we have no idea. So with regards to that, he was seen as more conservative, but my gosh, he's real. Let me just put it that way.
Yeah.
He is absolutely, he gave a speech, and I agree with you because it wasn't so much that he was black. If you see the speech he gave, guys, like he didn't mess about, eh?
What were the highlights of the
No,
speech?
it was just so real. It was just talking about all these things that we do in society and overlook, in terms of even the power hungry. Oh, he gave it to them. No, he gave it to them. He was like, look, it doesn't make sense that this is going on. He wasn't diplomatic. I'll put it that way. He was real. He was real. He didn't mince his words. Like everything that you think is going wrong in politics, he wasn't afraid to touch on. He was like, it's nonsense what's going on in Palestine. It's what. Now you can imagine how polarizing that would be.
Yeah. Especially for a pope who the public expects to be very neutral on many political issues.
Diplomatic.
Diplomatic or neutral.
And
yeah.
it's crazy that you have to call realness lack of diplomacy these days. But you know how that works, right?
Yeah.
Elson, you know how that works.
No,
You're not a real person? You don't keep it real?
no, I don't.
No, see, there you go.
I lie.
You're
I
very
pretend.
diplomatic?
Very, yeah.
Yeah?
Right.
Hey, okay, so
And not sarcastic?
no,
Have
I'm
you
not.
found the meal that were...
Yeah, no, I have. Actually trying to get the
rice and
actual.
It's rice and peanut.
Hold on. I'm trying to get to the
Dude,
actual.
politically, how does it work? I mean, because even when... His name is Robert, right?
Okay,
Yes,
hold on.
yes.
Listen to this.
Name is
Okay, we'll come back to the political question I have.
Boy Pope. And if it's a pink cake, it's also a boy Pope. It's always going to be a boy Pope. This is one of the shortest conclaves in the history of the Vatican. And one reason for that is reportedly food for the cardinals at the conclave was not so good. Well, yeah, it's church food. Church food is not so good. According to several cardinals, you don't eat very well, and the food is not exciting. It's a conclave, Padre. It's not supposed to be an exciting culinary experience. There's a reason it's held in the Sistine Chapel and not the Sistine Benihana.
So yeah, people are like, hey, listen, 2 more days of this. Now we're
Had
good.
that information come from any other source out of taking it a bit more seriously?
All right, cool. So on Sunday, my uncle decided to put this in the
Wait,
family
I've still got a
WhatsApp
question about the Pope. We'll come to your uncle. Forgive my ignorance on the issue. Like we said, we're laymen when it comes to what's happening in the conclave. How citizenry when it comes to the Pope? How does that
Right.
work? Because it's in the Vatican, but it's also from America. How does that work?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, what do you mean?
Like he's now a Pope, right?
Yeah.
And he has to live in the Vatican.
Yeah.
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 So what's your question?
He's now the president of it. So how does
He's
that
the
work in
leader.
terms of
Yeah.
citizenship? He's American. He's also in the
He
Vatican.
has
No.
dual citizenship, actually.
Well,
I
number
don't
one.
understand how it works. That's what I'm asking.
Yeah,
guys.
well,
does.
Yeah.
number one, he has to serve as the Pope first before him being American.
Okay.
He is going to be based in the Vatican.
Yeah. Which is like another country. You know what I mean?
Not like it is another country.
Yes, that's my point. He's American, but is the leader of another country.
I don't know how many other Vaticans actually made reference to the countries that they're from after they became Pope.
That's what I'm bringing up because I can't find.
I don't remember them.
Oh, no, they do.
They do what?
That's the essence.
They do what?
Popes like Benedict, we knew he was German, right? So origins do matter.
Are you hearing what I'm saying? How much of where they're from,
Is an issue.
not only is it an issue, did they bring up over and over again?
When they were Pope.
Oh no!
After the Pope.
No, you now belong to like
That's my
church.
point.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter that you're from Pongwe.
Yeah, you have dual citizenship
Guys,
in terms of paperwork.
So my political question is,
Yeah.
he is the leader of a country called the Vatican,
Yes.
which is within Rome.
Yes.
But it's a sovereign state. He's also from America.
Yeah.
Does he denounce his
No.
citizenship?
No.
Or these are exceptions that the world, the
Yeah.
global politics makes for such situations?
Yeah.
Right. Okay, cool. We can
Yeah.
move on now.
So it's dual citizenship. It's dual citizenship. He's still a leader. I'll put it this way. If you look at Audrey Hepburn, or if you look at
Kylie Minogue?
who was that that actress that married the Prince of Monaco, Prince Albert?
I have no idea.
Grace Kelly? Was it Grace Kelly? Anyway,
One of those, yeah.
she was the queen of Monaco, but she was, still American. So yeah, in that sense, she obviously had dual citizenship, but she was married to the king, so she was still the queen of a nation. And this has happened even right across history, even in the African traditional sense.
I mean, look at how the British royal family are German,
Right.
and yet they're British as well at the same time. You know,
I-
like when you look at their origins, they are
I'm
Germans.
so glad you didn't mention the incest bit. I was like, there's that.
There's all these dynamics that come into play when you
Wow,
cross
there's
borders,
that.
and
But yes.
And do you realize these guys are the second largest landowners in the world?
Oh wow.
The Catholics?
Oh, the Catholics. I thought you meant the
Windsors.
The Windsors. Yes, that is very
they
true.
are the largest landowners in the world.
Really?
the Windsors, right?
Oh, because of the whole British Empire? Technically, they own that?
Yep. And followed by the Catholics.
So technically, they still own like
Their own countries. Barbados,
principalities,
for
the
example.
Commonwealth.
countries.
the Commonwealth.
Yeah, the Commonwealth.
is
Yeah.
seen as their backyard.
And it will be damn near impossible for those countries to buy back their land.
That's why you just need an Abraham Traore. End of story.
Yeah, dude.
You just need
put a
an
foot down and say,
Abraham
look.
Traore, because Traore was, straight up. He after coup after coup after coup. I mean, the last person who made sense there before him was, of course, Thomas Sankara, and you know what happened to him, right? So, yeah, it's actually very interesting.
Well, it depends from what lens you're looking at it from. When you say made sense,
Well, made sense for the people.
which people?
Burkina Faso, his mate.
Yeah, but you are
people.
not. So how do you know what made sense for them?
What do you mean?
You're not from there. So
No,
how
I'm
do you
not
know what
from
made
there,
sense?
but
Yeah,
I'm
so
from
how do you know what
Africa.
made sense for them?
Because we're all under the same situation.
No,
As
we're
Africans.
not. No, we're not. Because just like you said, it was cool after some leaders only served for like as much as a year or two before a coup happened.
Okay.
And he was actually prime minister too at some point, Sankara. You know this, right?
Of course, he
Yes.
was.
And then
So
he
what are you
left in a
saying?
half and a puff. I'm saying, you
Yeah.
said it made sense. And I'm saying, how do you know what makes sense to them if you are not there?
But they're saying it on Twitter, on Facebook.
Okay, what do you
on the
mean makes
news,
sense?
and-
Wait, I don't get your question at all. Like, I'm
You
trying to
say,
understand the
you
question.
say the only other person who made sense
Yeah.
before Ibrahim was
Yeah.
Sankara.
Yeah.
And I said made sense in what way?
So
Because
can
I want
answer
you to I want you to qualify that. Yes.
Oh, fantastic. So what I meant by that was for his people, in the sense that he was the only person to challenge the colonial powers. You see what I'm saying? So he made sense in that regard.
Plenty did. Not plenty. There's one other guy, the guy that made him prime minister,
Right.
did the same thing too.
Right.
He challenged the colonial powers.
No, they all compromised at the end of the day, is what I'm saying. You do know this, right?
How long was he in power for?
They were all compromised at the end
True.
of the day.
Hold on. But how long was
Thomas Sankara,
How long was he in
as a
power for?
Pan-African, is the guy you're talking about viewed as a Pan-African?
Yes, he's viewed as that. But then again,
As a Pan-African,
so,
who's the guy you're talking about?
let me qualify my point. I'll give you another example of a person who's considered a hero but was actually not a hero.
Nelson Mandela?
Nelson Mandela.
I knew you were going to
Well,
bring
it
that up.
depends on which side of the coin.
Precisely what I have just said to you. It depends with how you're looking at it.
Okay, how I'm looking at it. To answer your question,
Yes, sir.
depends how I'm looking at it. How I'm looking at it is this. He was the one, okay, who was not happy.
And I'm not saying you're wrong, by the way.
No. You've asked me how I'm defining it. Yeah, so this is the definition. He was the one who was bold enough, okay,
He's the one that changed the name of the country
number one.
to Burkina Faso.
Number one. So he was the one who was bold enough to challenge the French colonialists, right? To actually put strides to say, we're going to get hold of our destiny, so to say, right? Which didn't go down so well.
But
Others,
but
you say,
pause right
hold
there.
on, let me finish, because you're going to ask me the same question again before it's
No,
been
I
answered.
won't, because I want to give you another example of a person who challenged Mugabe. Right?
Which is great.
So hold on.
Which is great.
So the concept in itself was good.
Right.
How it was done was horrible.
Point exactly.
So in as much as you could challenge the colonial masters,
You
it's
got to do it the right way.
Precisely.
That is why I said he was the one that made sense. So thanks for answering.
So do you think Mugabe also made sense?
No, I don't. I said,
But
Thomas
what you have just
Sankara.
said, Bob also did.
No.
The point you just gave, Mugabe also did in terms of challenging the colonial master.
Okay, this is very simple English I'm going to use.
That's what got him sanctioned, right?
This is very simple English I'm going to use. I was discussing Ibrahim Traore. Your question was, how are you saying Thomas Sankara was the one who made sense? And I said he made sense because he's doing what Ibrahim Traore is doing. So now your question should be not about Robert Mugabe, because your question should be, how are both of them making sense? So both of them are making sense in the sense that they have not compromised like a lot of the other people did, okay, in Burkina Faso situation. They have not compromised with regards to how far they want to take the fight for freedom, which is great, okay. They have also not compromised on how they're going to implement the fight for freedom, which now can bring me to your point about Robert Mugabe, how they implement the fight for freedom. That is why I'm describing it as the right way. So before you ask your question again about Robert Mugabe, I have segued to Robert Mugabe for your sake, bring it up.
Yeah.
So I still say that they have done it the right way. Robert Mugabe did it the wrong way, to answer your question. So you cannot say I'm saying they did the same thing.
Okay.
You understand?
No, I hear you. Again,
Awesome.
it still goes back to my point where it's the idea of not having a master that they're trying to run away from.
Yeah, essentially.
Right?
Well, the idea of not having a master that's from your own, your own people. Because at the end of the day, you do have a king, you do have hierarchies in societies. It's not anarchy they're advocating for.
No, I totally agree with you. Only for him to then get in a deal with Russia.
Okay, so...
Right? Where in exchange for gold, we need protection.
Okay, the Russia deal, well, number one, has not been set. Number one.
It hasn't, but it's in talks.
It is speculation, number one. And this is like, what are we talking about? 72 hours fresh, dude?
No! Oh, you're talking about this victory thing.
We're talking about
no. I'm not talking about that.
fresh?
I am talking about what happened months ago.
No, look.
If you are talking about his recent trip to Russia now,
yeah, is that why people are now like,
no,
my gosh? Okay,
no. That's not what I'm referring to.
At the end of the day, you do need a big brother
once again,
in global
what you need to realize
politics,
is it's not only Ibrahim that was there. So many other heads of state were there.
Absolutely.
So I'm not making reference to his most
okay.
recent trip to Russia.
Yeah.
I'm talking about in exchange for gold,
Right.
Russia will in turn protect.
Okay, can I use Dubai as an example?
You say what?
Can I use Dubai as an example? Because they have done it the right way.
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Okay, so here's how it worked with Dubai. So Dubai was like in the situation a lot of African countries are in, okay? And they had to play ball with the British. So this one king said, okay, what we will do is we'll strike a deal with you. You guys have access to our oil. So at the beginning, they were taking out the oil, okay? Unrefined, the UK was getting their way.
In its raw state.
Crude in its raw state, no one was really benefiting. Then this one king said, you know what, let's unite all the Arab states.
Make them the Emirates, right?
Yeah, or rather the Emirati states, right?
Yeah.
So they put them all together, and then they said, I'll tell you what, you as the British government have got British Petroleum, you've got BP. Mm-hmm. So what you are going to do is we are going to give you the rights to the oil, okay? So you don't own the oil. You have the rights to come in and access our oil. It's still our oil. It's still our money. It's still our rules, okay? But we are just giving you the same way they struck a deal as well with American companies, with your Chevrons, and said, you can also come and you have a right to drill for oil here. Not that the oil belongs to you. You see the difference? Mm-hmm. So what French countries or what French colonies were under was, if you extracted gold in a French colony, it belonged to France. You see the difference? So
you don't. It's not that you have rights. And you have ownership.
I mean, France
In
had
the France
ownership.
case, yeah.
France had ownership. So there's this even constant debate in history where, and I think it's a bit weird, it's a bit coon-like, where it's like house nigger versus field nigger. Because there's a debate they try to throw on you, which is, well, you better being colonized by the British or being colonized by the French. You know, it's kind of weird. But long story short, the French believed that you were one of them, okay? So some people say it's actually better to be seen as a French colony because you are considered a Frenchman. Hence the French national team being what it is. Because you are considered a French citizen by virtue of the fact that you're from a French colony. They call you a Frenchman, okay? With English colonies, they don't call you an Englishman.
Yeah, just your country.
No, you're from
The
Malawi.
demon there.
You're
Also,
from-
your uncle.
You know what I'm saying?
You know, one of the biggest mind facts when I went to Mauritius is so they speak French there, right?
Well.
But the natives are
Indians.
Indian.
Yeah.
Can you imagine
French
you
with an
see-
Indian accent.
You see Punjabi, and you're expecting him to talk like this?
And then he comes out like every now.
Like, I'm like, what the hell's going on here?
No, but if you want to get more confused, and this brings us back to the Pope, Pope Leo, his father, I believe, or one of his parents, is actually from Haiti. Now, Haiti,
Yeah.
Elson, if you thought you were confused being in Mauritius, all right, with regards to stereotypes, when you see maybe a skin color and you hear something else, Haiti is 10 times worse. Haiti is the place with the least racism in the world because no one is from there. They're like their food. They're a mixed pot of gumbo, like traditionally speaking. It's a beautiful thing, right? But because of that, you cannot be like, hey, Elson, you know, whatever from blah, 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 because 10 minutes later, you find out, actually, damn, I'm from the same place.
Yeah, just like America. Nobody really truly is American.
Yeah.
Except the Indians.
Exactly.
Right, so anyway,
Native
vehicle etiquette.
Your
Bob,
uncle,
I need
your uncle.
I need you to get your microphone for this. You have got a car?
Wait, this still is from your uncle, right?
Yes.
Right.
And people without cars in the group were in an apro.
Wait, you put this in our WhatsApp group.
No, I haven't put it in our
Oh, this is the
WhatsApp
family group.
Yeah, this is like for the family group. So, number one, if it's someone else's vehicle and you're going on a long journey together, avoid carrying more luggage than the owner of the vehicle.
Yeah.
I know that does that.
Yeah. Ish, but I mean, like, is this
These
gender
nuts?
specific? These
No,
nuts?
it's not.
Thank you. Is this gender specific?
No,
Because-
it ain't.
Yeah, but you know, like,
The other gender
you
always.
know,
No, I hear
bruh,
you.
know.
I hear you.
I agree with that, but I'm like,
I agree with it too.
you know, compromise.
I agree with it too. Which is why I have the kind of car that I have. Where are you going to put it? Two
seats.
2 seats, that's it. It's the kind of car you take to a funeral. Relatives are like, what kind of lift?
I wish,
Where?
man.
I really wanted to, but
Where? 2 seats. And no sex in the car, like some people I know. Number 2, if offered a lift by a relative, offer to pay a few liters of fuel or to at least pay for a toll gate.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I think that's, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
20 kwacha only.
We are doing the heavy lifting, guys. Listen, if you have a vehicle, right, just play this clip
Courtesy.
for your non-vehicle having friends, family.
I think
Number
the worst
three-
are the ones who borrow your car and bring it back on E.
Yo, Nkosi
Wow.
yami. No, that's true.
Yep. Yep.
Borrow your car, brings back on E. Nigga.
That is true. That is true. Number 3, when people carry you in their cars for free, it doesn't mean that you're also entitled to a free meal of beer. Contribute something.
You know I'm laughing so loud.
Road trip gospel, bro. Road trip
Was Switcher did
gospel.
No.
Road trip gospel.
Ah, fam. I was driving from. Oh, God, let me not
Road
mention
trip
this.
gospel.
Just last week.
Give us your
3 days ago.
Give us your testimony, brother.
Yeah, what happened?
That is
What's happened,
touching.
bro?
You bought
bruh.
food for them too.
People didn't chip in.
Do we know these people?
Very well.
It's Switcher.
Known countrywide.
It's Switcher. Switcher's got those vibes.
No, it's not Switch.
It's Switcher.
I haven't driven a Switch in a while.
Yo,
Number
you were
4.
aware that I was out of town the same weekend that you were out of town.
Was it you?
I was in Livingston that weekend. right?
Yes, and you know where I was. I won't say because then the people will know. Same thing happened to me, bro.
Were you the one who was being bought food?
I bought the food, fam.
You're driving and you buy the food and you pay the toll fees.
Everybody says that. Was it a male or female?
Male, boss.
And you?
2 meals.
And you both bought them food?
Yeah.
And this was on the same weekend.
The same weekend.
Yeah, anyway.
All right, cool. What point am I on now? Number
We
4?
needed Elson's nuggets before we
I know,
started.
right?
Yeah, man. Send this to them.
Yeah, I know, right?
Send this to them. Number 4, if the car is not yours, practice discipline. What are you doing changing songs and increasing the volume?
Sure. Wait,
That I hate.
means you touched the stereo
That
to begin
I
with.
hate. A person who gets into my car and wants to change songs,
Now, dude, I'm driving.
excuse me.
We need me happy for us to drive, for me to drive you properly to where we're going. And you're changing my music.
But I've only had one person do that.
What, attempt to change the music?
Like full on, like I was in.
it was a female, right?
It was a female. I was in absolute shock. No, but I'll tell you what. The people I've been in relationships with have absolutely respected my playlist. Okay.
And that's
But-
a female because we've got different tastes in music.
No, but I mean, this is when I realized like this female was truly a sister. That's when I realized. I was like, for you to even have the nerve to attempt this
But
bullshit.
was the music good that she put on?
She's a Gen Z boss.
What are you doing with those in your car?
As I said, she's a friend. And at that point, I was like, now you
That's
officially think you're family.
That's what Shannon Sharp said.
Oh.
Number 5. Ask to close and open windows, especially if you do not understand the mechanism of the vehicle.
Yeah, actually, that just makes sense. That
That's
just
what
makes
to
sense.
open and close?
The window, especially if you don't
Just don't be
understand the
touching
mechanism.
buttons you don't know.
I mean,
in general.
Before you know it, the car is jerking, eh?
See what I'm saying?
What's pressing overdrive for?
I always marvel when people get into my car and they try to adjust the seat.
Oh, for the... Oh,
Wait,
Yeah.
in your car, is it on the door
It's
or
on
the
that door.
seat?
It's on the door. So they keep checking next to the
right.
seat. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, but that's common, though, that you check there first, and then you'd have to...
And then they're like...
and then, but if I don't know if you guys have ever driven an American brand car. That shit will fuck up your sense of direction, my guy.
Yeah, right?
I
First on the left?
Yeah, it will fuck up your sense of
Yeah,
direction.
yeah,
because, like,
yeah. The wipers and
everything, bro. Even adjustments of seats. It's,
number 6.
Serious, eh?
Do not
Yeah.
throw away litter through the window. Do not
I
throw it
hate
on
that.
the floor.
I really
and
hate
don't
that.
leave it in the car.
bad manners.
Find a place for it.
You know what? I'd
Yeah.
rather you leave it in the car, to be truly honest.
Than you
depending,
chuck it out
than
the
you
window.
chuck it out, depending on what sort of trash it is.
Well,
I'd
that's-
rather you even leave it in the car because, like, even
Tampons
for me,
included.
who's changing tampons in your car?
I don't
boss?
know, I'm
In
just
your
asking.
two-seater?
Listen, who do you carry in your car?
Hey,
In
listen.
your two-seater, boss. Why? Why, bruh?
Why are people leaving such things in your car, Elson?
That's the new meaning for TDI.
Number 7. If you want to use the bathroom, speak in time to allow the driver to find a safe place to park.
Yeah. Yeah.
All in agreement?
Absolutely.
Cool. Number 8, control your appetite on long journeys to avoid diarrhea and constantly wanting to use the bathroom. Bananas work wonders.
Okay, but that one is 50-50. Let's
Bananas
face it.
work wonders. How?
Have you ever had diarrhea on a road trip?
No.
Really? Oh, then I don't know. For me, that's just part of a childhood experience.
Have you?
Yeah, absolutely. That's part of a childhood experience.
Diarrhea on a trip.
Diarrhea on a trip, guys. So this was my dad, okay? This was my dad. So he was very much a sadek person, and we got relatives all over the place. So one holiday, he'll just get up and say, right, tomorrow, 4 hours, we're starting off. This is us in Babane, Swaziland. Oh, wonderful. Where are we going? Gweru. Like for real. And you just start off.
Where's Gueru?
In Zim.
In Zim.
Right.
So
In
we'll
fact,
just
that
start
is
off-
where. Do you know Bata?
The shoe?
Yeah. That's where the manufacturing plant is.
I didn't
Oh,
know that.
okay.
Okay.
Oh, crap. Remind me about that. I'll tell you a good story.
So either way, you're going to start off on this road trip. So I've been sick enough times on the road as a kid. We used to do a lot of road trips. And that's where I discovered, you mentioned bananas in that statement. That's where I discovered that room temperature Coke and room temperature tonic water it will save your life
Serious, eh?
and your underwear collection. Like, no, but these are real.
Yeah, no, but let's talk about
Straight
bananas
up.
when you're on a road trip. Because you don't shit as much.
Really? Those
And
also
apparently you
help?
don't pee as much as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The potassium in it apparently prevents...
What do you want to say about butter?
Oh, yeah, I was reading about butter and how it has the most interesting marketing model.
Oh, right.
Whatever country, like, of course, before the internet, we now have more access to information, right?
Yeah.
So we could quickly research. But now, if you go on the streets, almost every country on this planet where butter exists...
Okay, where do you think butter is from, for starters?
Zimbabwe?
Elson,
That-
you
exactly.
think butter
Hey,
is from Zimbabwe?
Exactly.
It is not from Zimbabwe.
Butter's marketing plan is to make it seem like whatever
it's
country
local.
From there.
Yeah.
Exactly. So in Zambia, we all think
Or
butter's
from
from Zambia.
Czech Republic?
Yeah.
Yes.
But their marketing strategy is exactly what
Their
you're
marketing- I was reading
explaining.
about-
That's incredible.
It's actually a video on Instagram.
They
I
make
saw.
it, they make it feel local.
Everywhere they go, they make butter feel like they're made there only.
It was apparently, yeah.
So if you go to Vietnam, they'll tell you butter's
Butter's
from
from here, started from
Vietnam.
here.
That is
Butter not from Guero. You liar. You liar. Butter
That's
from
incredible.
here now.
Yeah.
So yeah, for real.
There's a podcast I listened to,
That was so racist.
Acquired. yeah, that was. Listen to. I'll send you a link for the podcast. Oh gosh, this podcast is so good. Acquired.
Acquired?
Have you listened to Acquired?
No.
That's where I heard about butter and their marketing model.
Uh-huh.
That's where I heard about. Actually, the episode I'm listening to right now is about. Dude, what do you think is the most genius business model? Like, the most genius company in the world?
McDonald's.
That too? Yeah, that's good as well.
You say what?
Like the company that you look at is really big right now.
Yeah.
And you think, okay, that's a genius idea.
Apple.
Okay. Cool.
NVIDIA?
That's dope as well. But think of a company that has no risk whatsoever, makes profit year on year on year on year on year on year.
Saliva Girls. Oh, that was last
Airbnb,
episode.
dude. Uber.
Visa.
Visa.
Nobody knows where Visa HQ is. Nobody talks about Visa. All our cards have Visa printed on it.
You're right.
Profitable every year. Never
Right.
makes losses.
Right.
Never in the news for anything. It's
Right.
just there. Like it's just
No,
there.
Visa,
You know what I mean?
Visa, you should
Yeah,
also
but then
study
again,
Rolex.
so is Swift.
What's Swift?
Oh, the bank transfer?
Yeah.
Yeah, but Visa started it
Yeah,
all.
but
Yeah, no, I'm saying Swift does the same thing too. When it
MasterCard
comes
does
to
the same thing, but Visa. That's my point. Is Visa started it, and Visa it's just one of those quite big
Visa-
companies. You know what I
actually,
mean?
Visa is like Rolex. Actually, you should also study Rolex because those guys they don't advertise. No one knows. Not traditionally. I'm glad.
Can you use
said
your
it.
microphone?
You can see. You can
like
see
an
a Rolex
advert.
advert, right? You can see a Rolex advert.
From Formula One, yes.
And what's the yacht thing? The boat races and whatever.
oh yeah, the yachts and whatever.
Golf as well. Yeah.
Okay, so this is why Rolex is not a traditional company and why they don't advertise in the traditional sense. All right. So they will sponsor stuff. Absolutely. They will absolutely sponsor stuff. And even when you look at the Rolex range of watches, their whole marketing campaign, all right, without outright saying it, is to tie themselves to history. So you think they sponsor the president's the Ryder Cup, or is it the President's Cup? The President's Club is the yacht one, and then the Ryder Cup is the golf one, and then of course Wimbledon as well. They're found in Wimbledon. So while they might actually like sponsor moments in history, is their thing. You see what I'm saying? So their main thing is not to go out and say, buy the new Rolex Daytona, blah, 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 or buy the new Rolex Perpetual. They will literally just cement, as you've said, in your mind, oh, they were there when Lewis Hamilton crossed the line and whatnot.
The guy who
Which is
the
awesome.
first person to go to the South Pole, they were there as
They
well.
were there as well. So it's like they cement themselves in moments in history, which is freaking brilliant.
Yeah, it's genius, bro.
And then on top of that, like they
Actually, when
yeah.
acquired, it's a 3
Oh,
hour.
and then no one knows what they do because they're a foundation, by the way. They're not
Oh,
a company.
yeah, not a company,
So
yeah.
no one knows their profit or loss.
Yeah.
Each year.
And they
year
keep
in,
that
year
very
out.
guarded, yeah.
They call themselves a foundation.
Also, I should send you this
which is very
podcast
Illuminati,
link.
though, if you think about it.
Yeah, send me the link.
Acquired. Really
Yeah,
dope
same
podcast.
with
The
the-
Rolex
I'll check it
episode, I
out.
think, was like 4 hours long because first they started talking about how he came up with the name.
Oh, yeah.
You know how he just picked up letters from a Scrabble game thingy, just putting letters together.
That I
Yeah.
do.
No, just putting letters together and just one that just looked, okay, this is going to be the name of the watch, Rolex.
Wow.
Because there's so many theories about how they came up with the name, how the people feel it comes from this word and that word. He says, dude, they just put letters together. I was just looking for something that didn't exist at the time, yeah.
All right, number 9.
Oh, what's still in the car?
Yeah,
What's still in the
we're still
car?
in the
Sorry,
car, still
damn,
in
we
the car.
digress.
Sorry.
Do not put your feet on the dashboard.
Depends on who.
Yeah, it depends on.
It doesn't matter.
No, it depends
Yeah,
on
it
who.
depends on.
Who do you give exception to?
My wife.
Like kids.
Do you know what happens when you get into an accident and her feet is on the dash?
She'll go through.
She
Break-
must
break
not,
a hip.
She must
Break
not,
a hip.
She must not put feet on the dash.
Yeah, but
those
she's
are-
not-
that's
she's
what
not-
I'm
she's
saying.
not my driving that
But
much.
now
Guys, I'm
you're
a good
giving the
driver.
safety reason. We're discussing the etiquette reason. Like it's what about
It's
it
both
irks
the same
you?
thing too.
What about it irks you? So you're irked because it's a safety hazard. That's,
Yeah.
That's why it irks
Yeah.
you. Okay.
I
for
don't want
me-
to have to be responsible for your medical bills.
For me, I thought it was like a respect thing. Like
Wait,
from
is
the
this,
respect
wait,
angle.
is this not for like long drives, like a long trip?
I don't. It didn't say, but I'm assuming it's for long drives
Do not put your feet on the dashboard.
Well, my wife is free to do that.
until you get into an accident.
Well, it depends on how you possess it.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't
No,
matter.
for me, it's not a pet peeve. I'm not.
For me, it is. For me, it is.
It
depends on
I'm very antsy when it comes to what the things that people can and can't do in my car. Right at the top of the list, you don't eat a pie in my car.
Oh no, that is gospel though.
The crumbs.
Guys,
It's impossible.
Guys.
Yeah, those crumbs are hard to move.
guys, pies.
No, we're not doing that.
No, we don't. I'd rather you
Especially
eat.
the ones with the flaky-
I would rather you eat like chocolate ice cream on my tan leather interior, dog, than
That-
a pie. Because,
And
no,
I've got-
seriously.
I've got tan leather
'Cause pie,
interior.
I will still find 10 months later. I'll find a crumb.
Bingo.
Chocolate ice cream, I know where
The
it is.
music.
We can get it
The
done.
music is another thing.
The
You
music
don't
as well.
change. See, the thing with me is, I listen to more podcasts as I'm driving than
I'm a
music.
podcast guy.
So I get somebody who comes into my car and says, this is boring.
No, I literally need to tell you who did this because you have met her. Bruh. And I was so touched. Kira, officially.
Oh, light skin.
Officially. Just was like, bam, 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 bam. And she was like, we're listening to this. And I was,
Is she pretty?
I was so perplexed.
She is.
Perplexed.
Can you answer my question?
What's that?
Is she pretty?
She's now officially a sister of mine just by that act. Because anybody else would have been.
Family zoned.
She's family zoned. She's family. Because I'm like, first of all, I'm not killing this child. That's why I said, like, she transitioned into family after that. Because I was like, it's the only reason you're still alive, girl.
Yeah,
There's no freaking way, bruh.
charges. That's the other thing. Unless you have an iPhone as well, don't come to me and
charges?
say, hey,
Like
can
what?
I
Like you can't
can
plug
you
in?
remove your cable so I put mine so I charge
No,
my phone?
that since load shedding started, I don't mind.
Well, I do.
Since load shedding.
Yeah, well, I
started.
do.
I've got a modulator that's got like
Yeah,
Type
multiple.
C and iPhone
Yeah,
as well.
so
So yeah,
plug your stuff in.
I can relate to modulators.
stingy
Plug your stuff in.
person.
No, because my car's got Bluetooth, sir.
No, but for
the
charging,
charging.
you got the charging pad.
No, I've got the little.
Or it's got a
cigarette
port
thing.
like
Yeah,
the Type
yeah,
C.
Yeah.
The little cigarette thing. That's what the modulator costs. And that. Look, I'm just generous like that. So I've
Anyway.
got like 2 ports.
Moving forward,
Yep.
while it is recommended to drink water and other non-alcoholic drinks on a trip, do not eat boiled eggs.
And you know how you have to go to the windows on a long trip, yeah?
These guys are gratis. I'm just remember we got food on this. These guys are gratis, bro. Next week, Chi brings boiled eggs. Enjoy the ground. That's all you can, bro. Who's doing that? Like who is doing that?
And remember, the aircon doesn't blow these things off real quick. Eh?
Who is doing that?
No.
No, who is doing that? I want to know their name.
Right now, there are people that are watching that have got a guilty face a guilty look on their face because they've done that shit.
Stop it. Which camera do I? Stop it.
No.
It is wrong. Stop it. Do not eat boiled eggs in anyone's car. In fact, wait. On the bus, on the plane, any form of
Or
transport.
the breakfast before the trip.
Any form of transport, do not eat boiled eggs on.
This is my
Chakwa.
favorite. This is my favorite. Listen to this. Oh my God, because this has happened. This is hands down, well, not one of my favorites. Number 11. When answering your phone and the driver reduces the volume, do not speak on the phone for more than 10 minutes.
More than a minute.
2.
Max.
Well, a minute and a half. Minute and a half.
I am listening
Because I have to mute my music.
precisely for you to talk on the phone. And now you're asking the person, also, did you eat? Excuse the fuck
Actually,
out of
not
me.
my music, my podcast.
No, but I've got weird, very, very, I would say conservative phone manners.
Who, you?
Yeah.
No, we're talking about you are the driver and somebody else
no, I
in
mean
the
just
vehicle.
in general. So even if, like, I promise you, like, if it's the three of us, we're out, we're having drinks or whatever,
And then you receive a call.
and I receive a call, I will still ask you. I'm just sorry, I'm just that guy. And
Well, you will ask the person you're with if you can take it.
yeah, I will be like, guys, sorry, do you mind? And I've been told now that's weird.
So I do that unless the call involves money or my child. I'll not ask anybody for permission.
No, either way, I will.
And
I'll
speaking
just
of
be
phone-
like, guys, excuse me.
Speaking of phone etiquette, am I the only person that feels that it is polite that if it is a social call or even a work call, text the person first to say, do you mind if I call? Don't just call me.
Yeah, at some time.
Wait, who do you do that with?
Anybody else who's not my child?
So I'm your child.
That's why I don't pick up your calls.
No, you call me without asking me if you.
No, it's different. I can call you. Just don't call me.
No, I think you
Very
have
silly.
to graduate to that stage. I think you
Don't
have to
just call me,
graduate.
bro. Just text me, hey, can you talk?
You have to graduate to that stage.
Because I'm an extremely busy
You
person.
know the worst? Phone rings, you pick up, and the guy just starts talking and tells you a long story without asking you first. Are you able to talk?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, hi,
have to-
Elsa.
you have
Dude,
to-
remember the last time we were by
Like, hey, nigga.
and then.
Can I ask you, gentlemen, a question? What's the most irritating text you can ever receive?
Can we talk?
We need to talk.
Yeah,
to
or we
talk?
need to talk.
It's scary. It's
is.
not
That's irritating too.
Wait,
It's not irritating.
which one's irritating though?
Your own name.
I hate it. I hate it. I've always said, why are you announcing my name? Can you greet?
Gee.
I hate it. Somebody says, Elson.
Okay.
I know what my goddamn name is.
Am I like supposed
Why
to be
are you
sharp?
announcing my name?
But I always text you like that, so why have you never complained?
Why?
How?
I always said Chigero or Changamir.
No, you don't.
I don't?
When you answer the phone, you say that. But when you text, you don't do that.
And I don't greet. I go straight to the point.
And something else that
Which
something
is
else
way
that
better.
I used
Like, I
to
can't
do.
just be like, hey, Cape. No,
I don't like the
just
hi.
Cape plus.
Hi, how are you?
Hey, well, hold
And
on.
they-
Let
get
me
to the
tell
point,
you.
quickly.
Let me tell you.
I'm
Funny how
that.
we
Like, yeah.
funny how we
Elson.
digress. Something else that I used to do that I've stopped.
Yeah.
Until because I only stopped it when someone asked me if I was doing this and I wasn't. How I used to text is I would go Kalenga dash, how are you?
Okay.
Until I realized that ChatGPT puts the M dash. Have you ever tried to get a prompt from ChatGPT?
No, not really.
Go on ChatGPT, ask it for a prompt. It will always put a dash. That's how I know this nigga here uses ChatGPT a lot. And a lot of people don't
How
know
do you use
this.
ChatGPT?
Listen, a lot of people don't realize. Do you have ChatGPT right now?
On my phone?
Yeah.
How
Do you have
use-
ChatGPT?
Phone's in charge.
If you go on ChatGPT, tell it to say, compose a joke for me.
Right.
Instead of a period, it'll put a dash.
At the end?
No, like
In between?
in between sentences, it'll put a dash.
Serious?
Oh,
Yes.
Okay. No, that's interesting though. That's interesting. But like, well, so people are now using ChatGPT to like give responses in relationships and in real life situations.
You gotta trust the machine to do that
Right,
for you.
right.
Which is.
And
is
I genuinely
quite
used to
interesting.
type like that up until someone says, "Did you just ChatGPT your response to me?" I said, "No."
Why would you think that?
No, but now I'm even more worried because if you're gonna like text me my own name, I don't even know if
If it's that person or if it's
ChatGPT.
yes. Now you have me extra paranoid. Now I don't just think you're weird. I also think I might be.
But the
hacked.
paid version of ChatGPT is freaking phenomenal, man.
Serious?
better than
It's
DeepSeek.
incredible. Better than DeepSeek. Because DeepSeek has got its limitations.
Okay,
The paid
But
version-
Sell the paid version of ChatGPT over the paid version of DeepSeek. Because just today I was promoting DeepSeek to someone like real.
Yeah,
talk.
so
Just
I use
today.
both, right? So I use DeepSeek on my Tecno, and how quick your paid version of ChatGPT is
Okay,
compared
wait,
to
sorry, just use that. I'm glad you differentiated because I also prefer to use DeepSeek on mobile devices as opposed to the desktop version. I still think it's weird. But anyway, sorry, go on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how quick the processor is, how quick it is to give you a response, how it also can give you variations of your response. So it can give you 3 different variations.
Right.
And you are supposed to pick which one that you want. And based off that, it will learn that these are the 3 possible responses. And she prefers this one because of how it is composed.
There was one of the earlier AI bots that used to do that. Was it the Nova one? Nova's whole shtick was to like give like maybe 5 responses. Then they were going the route of like, you know, how when it started out, it was like, oh, this is like your own personal thing. So they really took that your own personal thing, and you started off by picking a personality. Like, are you talking to this person that's a millennial and they are whatever, and then they'll give you options around that, and then you shape your avatar, and you shape your AI. You train your AI like that.
Yeah, but most AIs, that's how you do it. You train it.
Yeah,
but
all AIs.
One of the most interesting AIs that has got a personality is Grok. I hardly use it. But I feel like it has some kind of personality in the way that it responds.
And this is the point I'm making. It's like you know, when it really came out, the first thing I'd say, like the space race behind AI.
Who's it?
When AI came out,
Yeah.
the space race behind AI was really about shaping the personality, and that's why I'm talking about this earlier AI offering. I don't want to say the name. I know someone's going to correct me in the feed. But it was really like, oh, you can make your own. Do you remember Tamagotchi? Does anyone remember Tamagotchi?
No.
Wow, guys, I'm showing my age.
Which one is this one?
Or maybe the nerdy toys I used to collect. Tamagotchi was like the first
anime character.
No, it was like such a pointless thing if you think about it, but it fascinated a lot. It was all the rage in the 90s. It's basically a keychain, an overhyped keychain with a digital screen. And you had to feed this thing on time and babysit it. And
I remember it. Yeah, I remember it.
So when AI came out, they were treating it like a Tamagotchi, like, oh, this is your pet.
Oh my God, I was in high school. I remember that I was in high school.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My parents,
but we called it something different though.
My parents were not that rich.
And then we sort of then graduated from that to Sims. Did you ever play Sims?
I was never into
The
Sims, but a whole bunch of people were into Sims. So yeah, basically the same concept of like building your own world and your own characters and your own personal thing. And then, you know, you go through life like that and then bam, you have kids and you realize it's not as...
Number 12, when you stop at a rest house, finish quickly and go and wait inside the car. Don't let the owner of the car wait for you.
Take your poop quickly, bro.
Look, guys,
Cut it if you have to.
I have already advocated for the road diarrhea.
Hold on. Everybody has been in that scenario where you literally cut your shit.
Where you gotta...
Like, instead of letting the whole long thing come out, you clinch your... Oh man!
Nobody.
Kalagas love me so hard.
No, but that's asking too much. That's asking too much, guys.
Nah, I've never put those up on a journey.
Wait, hold on.
That's asking too much. To ask someone to hurry up their poop.
I know, right?
No.
Nah, just be patient, bro.
I remember the last time that hold on.
Yeah, I've told you.
I remember the last time that I did that is I went to a restaurant and the guy bathroom was like packed.
Yeah.
But the female bathroom was empty.
Yeah.
So I used the female bathroom.
Right.
And I'm taking a dump. So it's got a space underneath the door.
Right.
And I'm taking a dump. And this chick kept banging on the door. So I knew if she looked under it, she would be like, there's no female feet.
That doesn't be a good day to pedicure your toes, bro. Stay there. Baby girl, I got a bit of a problem.
Oh my God.
It's like, okay, girl, you do your thing. Oh, man. Wow. No, you cannot rush someone's poop. I don't agree with that one. As I've said,
all right,
diarrhea road trip.
The next one, even if you're a better driver, do not complain at each wrong move and do not tell the driver how to drive better.
Yes.
Oh, because I cruise, bro. I was doing 220 on the way back.
What?
Yeah.
In which country?
You know you're admitting to breaking the law.
No, there's parts where you can cruise, bro.
Not 220.
We don't have the autobahn.
Isn't it that
We do not
isn't
have
it that
the
when
auto-
the speed limit says 100, you can now
No.
you have to be 100.
When the, hold
You see,
on.
this is why-
Hold on. When the speed limit
No, I was
says
just joking.
100,
I was
You
just
can
do
go
you have to be
300.
at
My
100?
car wouldn't even allow you to go past 140.
Just admitted to breaking the law.
No, I'm telling you the truth. I was just joking. You can't even in my car setting. I can't go past 140. I got kids now, guys. Come on.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just joking.
If you go with someone to an event, you will leave when they decide to leave.
Well, those people are very lucky because I'm usually the first to leave gigs.
So how are they lucky? Because
If they want to leave, well,
You don't
what's the
hang
thing
around.
again?
You don't hang around too late. Like
No, I leave before the devil shows up. What's the thing again? If they want to
you
leave
go-
early, they have to wait for you, right?
If you go with somebody to an event,
Yeah.
you leave when they leave. So if
If
they
I'm
wanna-
driving, it's my car.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
You have
if-
to wait for me.
No, like if
They
you're like,
leave when you want to. You want to leave early. They have to
you've
leave
given
early,
she a lift. You want to leave early.
and then she still wants to
And
hang
I'm
around.
like, oh,
It
hell,
means she
I'm
now has
still-
to-
I'm
If
still
they want to
here.
go home early, they're lucky.
But
if
if
they
they
want to
wanna
go
go
too
home-
late,
yes.
they're unlucky because I'm going to leave early.
That's my point.
Yeah. I'm
gonna
Is they
leave
have
early,
to leave when the owner of the vehicle is
Exactly.
leaving.
You just have. I mean, it's my car.
th-
You're an
exactly.
angle.
I think
You're
you're-
gonna stay-
bruh.
Yeah, you find
You're
your
young
own
if
way.
you want to leave
Yeah,
later than
You're
9.
not going to start calling me names just because I got a car and you don't. Psst, bruh.
No, but also I'm thinking that means that goes the other way around. Like I gave you a lift, how dare you not leave when I leave, kind of thing. Are some
Well.
people programmed that way?
Hey guys, listen. Gob gave us strict
A time
instructions that we need
Yeah.
to keep this under
An hour and a half.
an hour and a half.
How have we done so
How
far,
are we
Gob?
doing, Gob?
Well, 5 minutes.
All right,
Okay,
cool.
cool.
We need to wrap this up. Let's record another one because there's quite a number of things that we did not touch on. That's not dig at Catholics. The US cut funds. Did you see the ambassador was supposedly crying when he gave a press statement? Did you see this?
No, please go ahead.
I want us to speak about that on the next episode and something that happened yesterday that I saw today.
Which is
Emmanuel Macron.
where?
You don't know what I'm just about to speak about.
No.
Oh, Kalenga,
Je
put
ne
your
sais
phone down for
pas. Je
this.
ne sais pas.
Put your phone down for this. It was Emmanuel Macron, it was the German Chancellor, and the new Canadian Prime Minister.
Right?
They were on a train
Right.
this past weekend, right? Because today's Monday that we're
Doesn't
shooting
sound
this.
like the start of a great story.
No,
I
listen to
know,
this.
right?
Listen to this. It
like
gets
an
interesting.
Irishman into a bar.
Walks in a bar.
It gets interesting. So they are chatting in there, and then journalists get into the room.
Okay.
They get up, they greet the journalists. But when they sit down, Macron and the German Chancellor forget what they had on the table, and they slowly take it off the table and into the pocket.
What was that?
Cocaine.
No, you lie.
I gotta see this.
Go on Twitter.
I gotta see this.
I will show
I
you
need to
right
see
now.
this as well.
I will show this to you
That's
right
not
now.
a deep fake.
You know,
Nope.
You know where I thought the story was going? Remember how when presidents from two countries,
In fact, Gob, I want you to play this video.
president from two countries doing a toast and how they never drink?
Oh, right. Exactly.
Oh yeah, that
No one
was
trusts.
that was Kim Jong Un and
Jong-un
Putin.
and Putin.
No, it happens all the time, bro. There's a guy who's put all these videos up on Instagram.
Right.
He actually showed what's the Watergate president?
Nixon?
Nixon with Gorbachev.
Oh, wow.
Looked at each other.
No, you really can't.
Nixon with
You really
Ronald
can't.
Reagan with they just toasting.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, but the most awkward one was the one with Kim Jong
Kim Jong Un,
and
yeah. Because they kept toasting and then
just press
pretending to
play
be
as
drinking
she's
it.
watching it, so you can watch it at the same time.
you see this.
Check that out.
I'll wind out with the
Just watch.
Zambia Faith.
Can you watch that?
I'll check it out.
Do you see that?
You edit out the beginning. Questionable?
Yeah, the questionable. I mean,
There's a baggie that he took from them.
yeah.
But how do we know
There
what
was
the
like
contents
a bag
were?
of whites, like a white-looking bag.
Okay, anyway.
I thought like you meant like they actually had like lines.
Like lines, you know what I mean?
Like, how did he put that in his pocket though?
Wait, it could be anything.
No, man.
Could be glucose for goodness sake. I have to carry that
Stevia.
as a diabetic, dude.
He has to move around with...
White
With
powder.
cocaine?
With white powder.
That explains why you're so hyper
Huh?
all the time.
Huh?
do you see his...
Faith,
Faith Warrior, Miss World Zambia.
Miss World.
Yeah.
And what's with this BS that Stefan is going back and forth with Alice about?
I didn't see that.
I don't get it. We have one person who's representing the country. Can we all just rally behind her?
I think that's the
Finish
important
and
thing. I think that's the important thing. Just rally behind the flag carrying individual.
Precisely. I don't get why we have to begin to criticize the way I didn't get into it, so I really can't speak on it. But there was a back and forth between those two, and
Okay, so the back
blew
and
up.
forth was that Stefan commented to say, Alice, can you please educate your models to
Like your contestants?
Yeah, like to know how to respond to questions. And then Alice
Was he referring to Faith specifically?
No, he just said your contest, so there was no one specific. And then Alice was like, you had all this time to tell me this. Now that you've seen it, you're trying to get numbers on the page. Can you
And why not inbox her?
Exactly. Can you, like, are you trying to get clout from
That's precisely
from
what it
my
is.
work? So-
Because if you really,
Yeah.
if it's something which is constructive, inbox her.
Yep.
Call her.
That was her point exactly. So she said, delete me, don't mention me in anything, don't try to get numbers off
Okay,
my
but
work.
also if you are in a public space and you're doing a public event, should you not receive feedback from the public? Because you're probably publicizing that so you can get feedback. You're hoping the feedback is, oh my gosh, we love
But it
everything
depends
you
with
do.
what it
She's
is,
not
but
looking-
it's
she's
not
not looking for
always.
feedback right now, she's looking for support.
Okay, what do you mean by that?
It's like, can you just support with positive energy? Because this is not within Zambia, this is outside there.
Right.
And people are watching this, all right?
Because Chi, I'll ask you this. you
Yeah.
this. With that contribution,
Like, is he? Oh, this was before.
after.
This was after she
Right.
won. Oh,
so Alice is saying, why didn't you tell me this before?
Exactly.
you know what I was thinking? Like, this was all in the build up to like,
No. Because then it would have made sense. Then it's timely.
Yeah, that's a bit weird, man. I mean, now is the time for celebration, even if he does have a point, and I'm not saying he doesn't or he does have a point, but there's a right time to bring up such things, because I think everyone can say well done on that. I've seen room for improvement on these areas, but you don't mention those areas or that when people are in the middle of celebrating. That's just weird.
Yeah.
That's just weird. Anyone can, at any public event, as I've said.
There's always something
the
to
closing
correct.
of the Olympics, you'll be like, yeah, these were the criticisms and whatever, but you enjoy it in the moment for what it is, and then you're like, oh, next time round, let's improve on A, B, C, D. So that's just weird, bro.
Gentlemen, we need to go. God's running out of everything.
Running out of space, and we
but
are
also
shooting
remember
this
to
a
vote
day
for us.
before
Podcast of the year.
It is.
Yeah. Podcast of the year, Zamtel Social Media Awards. If you're on the
Very
Zamtel
important.
network, star 9595 hash. Also, you can vote on the Zamtel app. It's called MyZamtel. And also, you can go to the website zamtel.zm. Till the next episode.
And then you look for our podcast and vote. And listen, the same thing that we've been saying. If we do get this money, we just basically giving this money
Giving it away.
back to you. The same way as we're gonna be giving you free drinks, 6-packs. And we've got a few giveaways from Tecno. So we have got drinking bottles, we have got t-shirts, we have got all kinds of things that we're going to be giving it. I mean, what else do you want?
So now you guys have made it weird because I'm the only one not mentioning stuff or like numbers to text. If you're going to vote for the next pope, vote Genesis. No, I'm kidding. I done.
Till the next episode. Remember, click on subscribe.
Next pope. Deuces.